All right, we should be live. Eli, you want to do a test?
That's one too.
Yeah, you're good to go. I'm just gonna drop this in here. I'm gonna shrink this down. Something I should have done before, but I just completely forgot. Okay, so we're gonna cover No Way Out from 2001, the WWF. Let me see here. Let's just drop this. And we screwed that up. Let's drop this. Okay. We just screw all this stuff up all the time. Alright, so welcome to AOX. In fact, I forgot. I screwed up myself here. I'm supposed to be wearing these. There you go. Getting a little old, authentic feel. Authentic
Now
feel.
the show can start.
Authentic. Wait, am I an old person? No authentic. Jesus. Jesus is back. Jesus! AOX
Yeah,
is back!
What's up, man? What's going on?
The freaking computer company.
Jesus.
Jesus. Been a rough night. I barely got sleep. Rough day. So we're here to cover the No Way Out 2001 pay-per-view. Tonight was the 20th anniversary of this show, of this pay-per-view. We went back and we watched it. We streamed it on Discord. And me and this guy literally sat here for the last 3 hours watching the entire show. It's too bad that we can't share that with you guys, but you know what? If you guys want to join us on Discord, that'd be great. But we are going to have a pay-per-view roundtable for WrestleMania next month, so we're going to have quite a few people on here. I believe Frank and Anthony are going to be on here. Richard is in the chat room. How you doing, Richard?
What's up, Rich?
So, let's go over the card. I am back too, though. Yes. Thank God. Thank God we're all back. So, Hardcore Championship match. Raven versus Big Show. A lot of crazy stuff in this match. A bunch of people ran in. Raven comes out, no problem. Big Show comes out. I believe he's a champion. Some lady in leather attacks him, and then the referees grab this lady and take her away. Then Big Show gets in the ring. Then like a cameraman guy jumps in the ring. And Big Show friggin' throws him over the ring and everything. I'm like, that's got to be Crash Holly. And it was Crash Holly. Then Steve Blackman ran out. And then everyone else ran out. And what happened now? Raven won the hardcore title real quick.
Yeah, so pretty much generally what happened was Billy Gunn ran out. He got in some good offense on Raven. Fucking, he got the pin off of Raven. So he wound up winning the belt for like a couple seconds. And then Raven won it back from him. Then Big Show slammed him and got the belt back. So it was chaos. It's a WWF hardcore match. This is how it goes. If you watch the old WWF
match.
You watch the old WWF hardcore matches, that's usually what happens. You can start off with two guys and then like 50 people by the end of the night. Freaking the title changed hands, so.
Jesus, I don't even know. The ending of this pay-per-view was kind of funny. It was kind of, and it connects to your AEW. That's really cool. That's nice, Richard. That's awesome. Yeah, so chaos erupted. The lady came back out. The lady in leather. Who was that? Like I don't even remember that. And Molly Holly came out with her this time. The referees threw them out again. So I don't know. They tried hitting Big Show when he wasn't even the champion. Raven was the champion still.
Yeah. It's never like specified like what happened.
I don't
Like
remember.
who that
I
lady
don't remember
was.
who that lady is or was. If somebody remembers, can they tell me? That was 20 years ago. Anyway, match was okay. It was a decent WWF hardcore match. The crowd was on fire, man, for this. Everyone that ran out was like a megastar, and these guys were jobbers. Let's just fucking face it
Yeah.
here. But that's how they used to book these guys. They used to book these guys to where they look good. Fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. The match dubbed the WCW Cruiserweight Tournament by Eli.
Yeah.
With Chris Jericho, X-Pac, Eddie Guerrero, and Benoit. And yeah, pretty much was a WCW Cruiserweight match. Little big man wrestling in the WWF. Match was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. You had all the top four working guys, in the cruiserweight division at the time, the light heavyweight division, WWF. Good. Unfortunate that the people.
It's unfortunate that Chris Jericho is Chris Jericho. It's unfortunate that Chris Jericho is Chris Jericho. That's what I'll say about this match.
Yeah.
And he wasn't fat back then. Figure that out.
He wasn't fat 5 years ago.
Decent match. A lot of high spots, a lot of technical wrestling. It's what you expect from these guys, but you can all tell they were all on roids. Guerrero was just starting to have that weird shape. But he didn't.
Guerrero, you look at his
what?
early days in WCW, he had no shoulders, and then you see him's broad fucking shoulders.
Yeah, it's just, dude, by 2005 or 2004, he was a mutant. He was just starting to turn into the mutant.
Right. He was jacked, to the gills.
Trish Stratus versus Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Garbage. Trish did she did a jumping DDT, and that shit looked brutal. Me and him were like, holy shit. She didn't even know how to wrestle back then, and that was a pretty good fucking move.
She almost killed Stephanie because Stephanie didn't take the bump right. She literally took it on her head, and she almost broke her neck. It was hilarious. Well, what do you expect from two people that are
So the story was McMahon told Regal, "You made this match happen, so now you're gonna fix it." And he goes, "You need to make the right decision," because Vince is with Trish, but his daughter is Stephanie. So he's fucking with Regal. So Regal comes out there. He fucking causes Stephanie to almost lose.
Yeah.
Then he fucking has second thoughts, so he grabs the referee or whatever and fucks up the count. Then he gets in the ring and Trish is yelling at him. He does this fucking face planting move on Trish. And then he fucking throws the referee on Trish. And Stephanie gets the win. And he goes backstage. What?
He did some arm neck breaker thing. He pulled her into him and wrapped her arm around her.
Yeah, he went
a neck breaker.
Yeah, he grabbed her arms in a neck breaker. They do the move a lot in that GameCube game, WrestleMania 18.
Yeah.
The GameCube game, they do that move all the time in that. So he's fucking walking backstage thinking he did the right thing, and Vince McMahon's screaming and yelling at him, "I thought you knew what I wanted." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Damn it." He goes, "Tomorrow you and Stephanie versus me and Trish."
Oh my god. Did that happen the next night?
Dude, at first he fucking said, before he made it a tag match, he goes, "Me and you are gonna get in the ring." And I said to Eli, I was like, "Yeah, good luck, Vince. This guy's gonna kill your ass." And then he's like, "Even better." And then he made the tag match. And we're just me and Eli are we don't remember that. But it sounds very interesting.
A lot of interesting things definitely happened on Raw and SmackDown and stuff. So I go back and watch those old fucking shows,
So then we have the 3 stages of Hell match, 2 out of 3 falls match. Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Very brutal match, very bloody. They had little tributes to Mick Foley with the barbed wire 2x4 under the announce table. Then they had the sledgehammer on the announce table. Lawler's like, JR, why'd you bring these weapons and everything? And he's like, I didn't bring these damn weapons. And they're fighting on announcing over that. But
Yeah.
great match, man. These guys beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, 3 stages of hell is like brutal. Like take a normal, what's supposed to be like a 2 out of 3 falls match, just add stipulations to it. Like fucking, you know, even after the first fall, because like you see where the story's going. Even after the first fall, these guys are dead because like they get like Austin beat the crap out of fucking Triple H that first fall.
Yeah, this shit went long.
And you got the fucking street fight, so they're beating the crap out of each other with weapons now. Then they're like then they're just even more dead. And then the cage match comes around. It's like, oh my god, you know.
Austin wins the first fall. The fall was for your spirit. So I don't know if they got that from the No Mercy game because you have the spirit meters. I don't know what the hell's going on. But, yeah, Austin's spirit wasn't broken. And then the second fall, Triple H got the win. And then the third fall, which was the bullshit finish, was they both hit each other. Austin hit Triple H with a chair while Triple H hit him with the sledgehammer. They both fell down. Triple H was the guy on top of Austin, and they counted to 3. And then there's a moment where they start talking to each other. They go like this next to each other, and then like the No Mercy logo hits the screen, and they do the replay. But me and Eli were like, shit, they're talking to each other. Great match.
Yeah, just a great, you know. We have our opinions on Triple
Austin,
H, but I mean, he's a great worker, you know.
Austin didn't give a fuck, man. He was going through this. He was gigging. He was doing all that stuff.
Yeah,
he was a hardcore fucking guy, man. For a guy that wasn't a hardcore guy, he was hardcore in that match.
Yeah, they didn't do 20,000 finishes and and like you said, we were watching.
They did a lot of kickouts, but that's what you did in those matches. You did that in the main event. You didn't do that in every fucking match.
Made it mean something when it was the main event, And like you were saying, like they rewarded us because, Triple H won because he was the bad guy.
Oh yeah, and then at the end,
gets up and stuns him.
Austin gets up and stuns Triple H. Everyone goes fucking crazy, and that's how they ended the match. Like they ended that segment. It's like, so you got the guy over. Like, you still sent the people home happy. Austin lost. And instead of people like, oh, fuck, Stone Cold lost, he gets up and fucking stuns Triple H. Like, yeah, you got him. Fuck him. This match, I went to the restroom, so I wasn't even... I missed the entire thing. Stevie Richards versus Jerry the King Lawler for the cat. This was Lawler's final match with the company until he returned. You wouldn't see Jerry Lawler until the night after Survivor Series of 2001. So he went on a little vacation. Basically, they fired his wife, and he said, well, if she's going, I'm going, thinking they wouldn't fire him because he was their lead announcer, and he was like, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
And then his wife ended up cheating on him a couple of months later. And he ended up working something out with WWF. And he came back in November. Because he didn't have her anymore. And she didn't want to be with him. And he was like, I want my job back. What did you think of this match? Because I went to the restroom. But before that, I saw the promo where... the RTC were like praying backstage or doing the little cult member thing. They had the camera like underneath them, so the camera's looking up at all of them in a huddle. And I'm like, what is this? What are we watching here?
Yeah, they're like praying.
Well, I don't, it looked like something else, but It looked like one of Val's old movies.
Typical, Jerry Lawler match. He's beating the shit out of the fucking Stevie. Stevie's beating the crap out of him. You know, the ladies get involved with it, you know, a little bit, trying to. Ivory throws the belt to Stevie to try and knock him out, and they're all going back and forth and shit. Eventually, Stevie gets the upper hand. He winds up winning. They wind up getting the cat. And that's really all there is. It was like a 5-7 minute match, maybe, if that. You know, nothing to go home about. It was like just a stupid little storyline they had to write off Jerry Lawler. I mean, nothing.
Well, they wrote him off and he didn't know it.
Yeah.
You know, because they told, I believe they told him, yo, when you wrestle, you're done for the night. Like, you're good. Like, we're giving you the rest of the night off. I think they did it on purpose because they kind of knew they were prepared to get rid of him. Because we'll mention this later on. They threw somebody else out there after this match. Literally after this match. Well, I guess later on is now, right? So what would you say about this match? Like, it was good, bad, or just standard Lawler match?
Stevie, it was an average match. I mean, again, you know, Lawler at that time, he wasn't really doing much. Like, you know, he just punching and kicking, stuff like that. He wasn't doing too many big moves. Stevie was landing more big moves and stuff like that. I mean, the fans seemed kind of into it. I mean, they were popping for everything back then, you know. Right. So I think it was more just for, you know, the ladies and stuff, and freaking, you know, Ivory and Cat and everything. But an average match, really nothing to write home about. It's a bathroom break match, in my opinion.
It sucks because Stevie Richards, this was like the biggest push of his career, and he did really good.
Oh, he was over.
He was fucking great, man. He took that ball and ran with it. It's just too bad that, again, we'll get to this later on in the summer, but they bought WCW, and that a lot of guys that were like in spots like Stevie Richards were kind of pushed to the side because of the whole. Because now they brought in a Booker T. They brought in, you know, Buff Bagwell for a short time. They brought in everyone else from WCW that they got contracts for. So they were starting to focus on those guys and build those guys up. So it left like guys like Stevie Richards, like it left them by the wayside a little bit, and that sucks because he was. I think this was like the best Stevie Richards we ever saw. Yeah. And he was good. He was good in ECW and all that shit, WCW. But you know what? I think this was like his moment.
Right to Censor was like his peak.
Yeah.
Like, the bad guy. They were making fun of the. You know, the TV fucking, you know, the commissions back then that were trying to get shit off the air and censored.
When he was Steven Richards and Right to Censor, that was like years of hard work paying off.
Yeah.
And I think that was perfect, man. I think he was great in that role. He did a fantastic job. And it's just too bad that eventually it fizzled out. But this wasn't supposed to be a faction that was going to be around for long anyway. It was just... From what I've been hearing over the years, that Vince McMahon it was the parental television council people that he was just making fun of.
Yeah.
It's PTC, so he made RTC. So, what happened next? Was it next? Yeah, it was next. No, it happened during this match, I think, right?
Yeah. Taz
before this match, Taz comes out, and I'm like, why the fuck is Taz coming out?
Taz comes out.
I was like, he's not in this match. And he sits down next to JR, and he does the announcing, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, Eli, isn't it funny that 20 years later, the two of them would be in AEW announcing together?
They'd be announcing, like, somewhere else, you know.
Then after this, we had the triple threat tag team match for the titles. This card that's on the DVD doesn't even tell you if it's for the titles.
Yeah, but it was for the
Kane and Undertaker versus Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. Who were the champions?
Dudleys were the champions.
Dudleys were the champions? Okay. And I came back for this match. Just a typical tables match. Hardcore type match like that. They're using the tables like crazy. There was one part where Edge was thrown into the table and it didn't break, and he smashed his friggin' like shoulder right into the table.
Yeah.
Trainwreck is in the chat. How you doing, Trainwreck?
Going on train wreck chat.
For anybody listening later on, we are live right now, so we have a live chat room. So, what do you think about this match? Because to me, it was a typical car crash tables match.
Yeah. Again, back in the day, seeing the Dudleys, Undertaker, and Christian. I mean, these were like, would never imagine that, in like a tables match, and a lot of false spots, false finishes. I think that at some point, like Taker goes to set up the table and the table leg breaks. He still sets it up anyway, so it's like
Yeah, the table, the bottom leg's like curved, and he just ended up putting the one side up and kept the curved side like sinking a little bit. And then I think he threw Christian through the table or something, or Edge, one of them. Or it was Kane.
No,
I don't remember. It was Kane throwing Christian through the table, right?
No, he threw Edge, and Edge hit his shoulder in the corner, and then I think I don't remember what happened, but Taker and Kane. Oh, Haku and fucking Rikishi, they run out.
Oh yeah,
in the match.
That's right.
They run out.
The hardcore WCW champion.
Yeah.
Meng Soup.
They ran out. They distracted Taker and Kane. I guess they were in a feud during that year, because I remember that was when Taker threw him off the fucking Rikishi off the cell or whatever. Right. But 3D through the table and the Dudleys retained the belts. Again, like you said, car crash. Tables match, pretty average, nothing crazy.
The crowd was still going crazy for this shit, though.
Yeah, because back in the day, you had star power in the ring. People knew the Dudleys, people knew Undertaker and Kane. They were badasses. Even Edge and Christian, Edge and Christian were like the comedy tag team, but at the same time, they were still like considered like.
They were the serious heels, man. Guys. In the ring, they were serious heels. Outside in the promo world, they were the funny heels.
Yeah.
It's like Freddy Krueger, man. He makes his jokes, but at the end of the day, he's getting down to business, which is killing. That's what these guys were.
Right.
They made fun of you and fucked you up. Then we had the WWF Championship match. The DVD, ironically enough, says WWE Championship, even though the DVD wasn't censored. WWF Championship match. Kurt Angle, who's the champion, versus The Rock. This match was pretty damn good. It was pretty long. They went back and forth. And the irony, we're watching the match. All of a sudden we hear, well, I'm in AEW. No, never mind. You heard, well, and the fucking Big Show comes out. And we're like, what the fuck is this? And I said, is he going to join Taz and JR at the announce table? Like he is 20 years later? It's funny to watch this show now, because you literally had, in the main event, you had JR, Taz, and the Big Show, who are now in AEW as announcers.
And the opener, you got fucking Jericho.
Yeah, fuck him. Nobody counts Jericho. Nobody likes him. He's fatter than me.
Fucking AEW.
I bet I can lose 50 pounds faster than Chris Jericho. But yeah, great match, man. The Rock was on fire. Kurt Angle was on fire. There was one part where Kurt Angle put The Rock in the ankle lock, and he said, "I'm gonna break your fucking back." What did he say?
He's like, "I'm gonna break your fucking ass."
I'm gonna break your fucking ass.
Yeah.
Because we can actually hear now with these headphones.
Probably censored it.
No, they didn't censor it. Dude, I was watching these shows on a 13-inch fucking Gold Star TV back in the day. Okay? I didn't have a big-ass TV. And ironically enough, someone threw one out down the street, and me and Mario took it back to the house, and I actually brought it to be fixed. That's how I got a 32-inch TV. Yeah, with headphones on, you could hear everything, man. And he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna break your fucking ass." And it was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, Kurt Angle was like cursing the whole match.
What I could do, you know what I could do? I could load up the DVD
To play that part.
and I could play that part if you guys will just give me a minute. But yeah, talk about the match, Eli, while I cue this up.
And The Rock was like, if I could touch the fucking ceiling and go past it, I would. But like, that's where the fucking Rock was, 2000, 2001. You gotta like think, Rock was only on top for like at this point for 2, 3 years. You know, like '98 was like the jumping point for him, but like '99, 2000, that was all Rock, like right there. You know, so got Kurt Angle now. This is what Kurt Angle's first championship. Is this the first time he won it?
It's the first time he lost it, but yeah, that was his first run.
Yeah, you know, again, Kurt Angle coming hot off the Olympics and the WWF, winning his first title, you know, since being in the WWF. Now, losing the title, of course, but a really, really great match. And you know what? Nothing was nothing crazy. You know, like all these matches today where the guys are doing all these freaking high technical spots and all these planned spots. They were just beating the crap out of each other because for the title. And when you're fighting for a title, you don't need really a story. You just need two guys beating the shit out of each other because one of these two guys want to walk out the championship. That's something that's kind of missing from wrestling nowadays. Is like the titles, they just have the same match they always have just for the title.
Watch.
He's got to get tight, JR, real tight. Angle looks to win the submission victory. And Angle, middle of the ring, and right back into the ankle lock. Tap out, you son of a bitch. Wow, look at Angle.
You heard that?
I can't hear it.
Tap out, you son of a bitch. I'll break your fucking ass. It says 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 43 seconds. Is like right after it happens. Let me go back a little bit here. I'm gonna go to 2:26:13. Hang on. All right, now listen carefully right now, okay? He's gonna say something, you son of a bitch, and then he's gonna say, "I'll break your fucking ass." Just listen. Yeah, like I didn't catch it on TV back in the day, but like I have headphones, I can hear everything. And I was like, "Holy shit, this guy said I'll break your fucking ass."
Kurt Angle was another one too, where he was like outside the ring. He was like, you know, comedic and everything, and he was making jokes, but then like got in the ring, he's serious because obviously he's a gold medal fucking wrestler. You got to take that guy seriously when you step in the ring with a guy like that. But
well, I just think that he was a little more intense in the ring because of the whole situation. I mean, look, he wasn't even a year in at this point. No, was he?
Oh, 99?
Yeah, he was about
Survivor
a year
Series?
In. Yeah, he was about a year in. Never mind.
So, yeah, man, Kurt Angle, man, he was great at this time. Like, this was like one of his peak moments, definitely. I mean, he was in like probably the best. He was working with the best guys at that point. Rock, Austin, you know, everybody at that point.
Yeah.
It's a great title match. It was a transitional thing, you know. Rock's champion for now for a month, WrestleMania.
Yeah, this was today, February 25th. Well, it's about to hit midnight. But yes, February 25th, 2001. WrestleMania was April 1st, 2001. So, yeah, Rock had it for a little bit over a month. But they didn't really have title matches or anything. It was just him and Austin going back and forth. That was like a perfect time because they gave them a month to build up to the Austin feud. You know what I mean? They didn't give them like 2 weeks and then, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to kick your ass at the pay-per-view. They went a whole month, and they even changed course on some of the angles. It is now February 26th, 2021. But yes.
They Night Raw. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm not reviewing Raw. Fuck that. But yeah, I mean, they built up. Originally they were gonna have Deborah involved, which they made her the Rock's manager because they were gonna try to do that. Then Austin backstage said, "I don't want to do that." They got rid of that. They scrapped that whole thing. So they changed course a little bit, but they got to where they needed to go. The build-up was still great. And Kurt was still involved, man. He was still fucking up with the...
Well, DDP.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That would be appropriate for the final Nitro that we're going to be doing next week. Or next month, I'm sorry. 1 month from today.
Next month.
March 26th, 2021.
Yep.
That's how we should
That's
end the
always
show.
plays when we're live.
With Taps playing, and that's the end of WCW.
This is the end of 2001.
Yeah.
The end of wrestling being good.
So,
Well, wrestling was a little bit decent, but whatever.
yeah, they had Angle jump into that feud as well during the build-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over?
Yeah, is it over? It seems like it's over. But we had Angle in that feud. It was a whole build-up for a month. It was great. They had My Way or The Highway. Was it My Way by Limp Bizkit playing the whole month? That song was ingrained in everyone's brains.
The entire album playing through the freaking whole pay-per-view.
Did they really? I thought they only had that one song playing 1,000,000 times during the fucking pay-per-view. We're gonna watch that anyway in a month, a little over a month. We're gonna
Best WrestleMania of all time.
So we watched this on Discord because I have the DVD. I bought this DVD, by the way, so we can do this review. This DVD cost me $40. So No Way Out was never released on DVD. No Way Out 2001 was never released on DVD here in the United States. It was released later on in the UK as one of the WWE Silvervision DVD collector's packs. However, the pay-per-view is not censored. It's still WWF. All the music is there. Everything's good. And it comes with Armageddon 2000. I don't have either of those on DVD, so I said, you know what? About a month and a half ago, I said, I'm just going to buy it because I want to review it. Because that's what we're doing. We're bringing this show back to review these anniversary shows. So I paid the $40. It came from the UK. It took about 3 weeks. And it was used, by the way, for $40. So
Yeah, wrestling fucking pay-per-views are expensive, especially like the older ones.
I looked at it this way. It came with 2 pay-per-views, so they were $20 a piece, in my opinion. So I ripped it to the computer and I loaded it up in VLC and we streamed it in Discord. And that's what we're going to be doing for WrestleMania 17. Only for WrestleMania 17, we're going to have a viewing party. So it's going to be me, Eli, Frank, and Anthony. And then when we're done watching that show on Discord, we're going to jump right on here and podcast live and do a live roundtable. Because originally, the plan was, before this whole virus crap, we were all supposed to get together at the shop and watch this pay-per-view and review it. So now that things have changed, we can do it from the comfort of our own home. The only problem is we all have to sit together on the computer like this and freaking watch it. But we got the technology to do it, so that's cool. But that show is going to be a big show.
Well,
Well, he's an AEW. I would call him Colossus, man. That's years ago when I started this show. I said if he ever goes to TNA, because he quit at one point. If he ever goes to TNA, they should call him Colossus. But I know AEW is just going to be lazy and call him the Giant.
yeah.
So what do you think about that, huh?
Not gonna do that.
But wait, before we go to him, this pay-per-view, what do you give this pay-per-view? Out of 10.
Out of 10, I'll say a 7.
I give it a 10 out of 10. Dude, the crowd
I'd say a
was
7
hyped.
just
The crowd was hyped the whole night. The crowd never flatlined and never died. It just kept going, man. I don't know about the Lawler match because I wasn't here for that, for like the 5 minutes that it was on that you saw. But besides that, man, the crowd was on fire all night, man. Even for the shitty guys. It was just too popular.
it was it was definitely the transitional. You know, you're heading into WrestleMania. This is the hype for WrestleMania. You know, you're blowing off the feuds from the past few months,
Right.
so you can get to Mania and start building those feuds up. Because now you got the whole month. You know, Austin and everybody, they were already kind of. You know, Austin had his little feud with The Rock here and there. You know, that's still like fresh in people's minds. You know, Rock and Austin. You know, Austin won the Royal Rumble that the month before, so it's sense to build up. You know, Austin. You know, it sucks. He loses to Triple H, but he's the main event for WrestleMania, so you already know he's going.
Yeah, but he lost to Triple H by like
know?
a fluke. Like that was the whole story.
Yeah, like they knocked each other out, and
Yeah.
one just happened to be on top of the other.
They both pinned each other, and then the final one was a knockout.
Yeah.
This way, it really didn't hurt either guy. By the end of the show, both guys did each other the favor, and then the final one was a knockout. So it was like kind of a tie. It wasn't a tie. The match is Triple H won the match, but as far as like the even Stevens of it all, it was kind of like a tie. Like, all right, he did him the favors, he did him the favors. Let's do a tiebreaker, and that's
Austin fucking came out on top anyway because he stunned fucking Triple H at the end.
it was good what they did because they were Triple H was going to lose Undertaker and Austin was going to beat The Rock. So you didn't want two losers going into WrestleMania, and then one of them loses again. So they did the even Steven. They called Triple H the winner, and that was it. So by a fluke.
Which is how you do it. You don't have the guy lose clean fucking after like 59 minutes of them beating the shit out of each other.
Right.
You know?
Nah, they put on a hell of a match.
And you reward kind of the fans, like you said.
Yeah,
Don't
stunned them at the
just
end.
have the bad guy. The bad guy just outright beat the fucking face after all that buildup.
Yeah, they don't.
Like kind of what
they got away from all
what they
that.
did to Booker T. They did to Booker T at 19. It's like, damn, you think Booker T is gonna get his fucking revenge on Triple H after all the fucking
No, and then
3
Triple
months they
H
were
comes
feuding?
back years later and fucking beats Booker T again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bullshit at 19, dude.
Yeah, man. Roof would have blew off the place if Booker T would have won, but we're not talking about WrestleMania 19.
We'll talk about that in the year 2023, if I'm alive still.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I think that might be the one that we call it even at that point. That might be the last show.
Yeah.
Because it's the last run of Stone Cold and The Rock, and that was it, man. We could do a WrestleMania 20 show, but there's no point. That show was great, and it was ruined. For one reason. And it's just ridiculous. It sucks, man, because if WrestleMania ever had an ending, it would be WrestleMania 20. And that's
Right.
now out the window. They can't show those clips or anything anymore. So that sucks.
Dude, people get into fights with me and shit. Oh, they're like, oh, but all the other WrestleManias after 19 were good. And I was like, no. To me, WrestleMania 19 is the last good one.
17 kicked off this like trilogy,
I
this
think-
like farewell trilogy, and that was it, man. 20 was good, but I mean, it was the end. Like this was the end of it all. 19 was Shawn Michaels was coming back, Austin was retiring, The Rock was coming back, but The Rock was going to do movies. You know what I mean? Like it was like the beginning of. It was just the end of that attitude thing.
Yeah.
The attitude
I mean,
was
The
still
Rock
there.
was a 20.
Yeah, but The Rock, he just came back for 20. He wasn't there for the whole run. He showed up on
Oh,
Raw like a
he
week
was there
before
for
the.
that night.
Oh, he was there for like a week or two before the pay-per-view. They had to like remix his bad guy music into good guy music somehow.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever. Look, WrestleMania 19, that was pretty much the end. Like, that was it. It tied up all the loose ends with all that other stuff. And that was it. 18 was badass, man. In Toronto.
18 was like the passing of the torch.
Yeah, and it didn't pass anywhere. It passed gas. Hogan passed the torch
He
to The
passed it
Rock
to
to go
Rock.
to Hollywood.
And The Rock.
That's all fucking... He made him in the Hollywood Rock that night.
Yeah, and fucking Rock fucking left, and that was it.
You know what's funny?
There was no real passing of the torch. He
People-
passed the torch to him, and The Rock
He
ran
didn't
away.
even fucking pass the
with the
torch to
torch.
him. And here's why. People don't even remember this. The Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania 18, it was the NWO versus The Rock and Austin. Hogan fucking did the leg drop to The Rock and pinned him. Dead in the ring. It's like, yo, you just gave away the finish of the fucking... You just killed the pay-per-view.
Right.
You just had Hulk Hogan beat The Rock on Raw. 5 days before the pay-per-view. What the fuck? And they're like, well, it passed the torch.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. The Rock got his win back at WrestleMania. Hogan beat him already.
Yeah.
That's why Hogan didn't mind losing to him.
Hogan has to beat you before you.
And you know Hogan's like,
can
well,
win
technically
over
I beat Austin too because I won the tag match.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. These guys are so stupid. Anyway, WrestleMania 17, the greatest WrestleMania of all time. The two great follow-ups are 18 and 19, and I think that's where we stop. As far as I'm not gonna.
19.
We're gonna be doing the rest of the year of 2001 in 2021, but we're not doing like the entire year of 2002. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. We'll pick our
Yeah.
spots. We'll do.
2002 wasn't even that good.
We'll probably do No Way Out 2002. We'll do WrestleMania 18. We'll do probably SummerSlam because Shawn Michaels came back. We're doing Survivor Series because I was there. I think that might be it. I don't think we're going to go any further with that. Then in 2003, I think we're just going to do WrestleMania. And that might be it. The Rock and Goldberg at Backlash, I don't know if we should even cover that because whatever. You know what I mean? It was Goldberg's debut match. It's not like a landmark. But, yeah, I think we're going to end these types of shows at WrestleMania 19. So you guys got another 2 years left, depending on the situation. But are there any questions in the chat room? Before we go to
I think
what?
I think WrestleMania 19 would have been one of my top ones had Booker T won.
Had who won?
Had Booker T won at WrestleMania 19, I think that would have been my number 2.
He was supposed to win.
Booker T would have been launched.
They literally had fucking Goldust on Howard Stern, and Goldust was like, "I'm going to be in the corner of Booker T at WrestleMania this Sunday." Guess what? Booker T and no Goldust, but you had Triple H and Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Booker T and Goldust, you know, they're underrated because when Austin left, they really filled the gap on Raw for that entire year. Like, they got the fans engaged. They were fan favorites. They were getting over. They held the fort up while Rock was out and Austin was out. And those guys never get the credit they deserve.
Oh.
They made that show fun. And they were main event guys. And it's just too bad. It's too bad that they were overlooked completely. People remember the antics and everything, but I don't think people remember like the situation that they were in. They were main eventing Monday nights. They were getting the young guys over. They were doing what they had to do. They were being put in spots with certain people. But they were the front runners of Monday Night Raw back in 2002. You know, they really held down the fort. So
Good guys, man.
yeah, man, they were great.
It's like the
Still
only
great.
reason I watched Raw on fucking, back in then 2002. Good
Yeah,
shit.
if
Great
there was
stuff.
no Booker T and Goldust, I probably wouldn't have watched.
Yeah,
'cause I had nobody
SmackDown
else.
was on fire, man.
Yeah,
SmackDown had all the.
You had
good guys
Heyman.
over
You had
there.
Heyman booking all the fucking young guys, and they all turned into megastars.
And they all got fired like 2 years later.
He got fired because SmackDown was doing better ratings than Raw, and the son-in-law was on Raw. So they were like, "Hey, you can't make Triple H look bad," and he's just like, "I'm just doing what I'm told to do," and they punished him for it.
The best thing that happened on Raw was like the Matt Hardy and Lita thing. 'Cause that was like fucking a shoot.
Yeah, but that was like 2005, man. That was a long time after.
That was like what? Was it 2005? 2004?
It was 2005.
It was 2000.
It's 2005 that they brought him back.
Yeah.
So it was what, 2004 then, right? Yeah, because I was at that show. I was at Vengeance 04. And I think they did some storyline there or some shit. I don't remember.
Right.
But whatever. Who cares? We have no questions. We're out of time. I want to thank you all for watching. We will be back in 1 month to cover the final WCW Monday Nitro. Me and this guy are going to be watching it on Discord. And we're going to come right back here when we're done. We already have the scheduled video. So you already have the link. You know where we're going to be. And we'll be back here and we're going to recap that show as well. And talk about...
And Taps will play.
Taps will play and we'll talk about the...
DDP.
We'll talk about what happened after that. Because now we know. When that aired 20 years ago, we were like, what the fuck's going to happen now? We had no idea. Boy, do we know a lot that went down since then. And it wasn't all good. So we're going to kind of cover...
No.
We're going to cover the show, and then we're going to kind of cover the aftermath of all of that. So, that's going to be a big show. Again, no pun intended, but... Well, it's time to get out of here. All right, I want to thank you all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe. Thanks for being here. And we will catch you all next month. So, have a good one. Peace out.